Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's cold in here today, so I'm hardwired with the microphone. Hopefully the sound is okay because I got the heater right behind the camera. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at a couple of little things on the bike. I'm going to show you how I cleaned up the wiring harnesses. I'm going to show you where the CDI mount goes on the 99. We're going to start with some of the swing arm and linkage bearings. And if you're looking for one of those videos where everything goes smoothly and it's apparent that the maker of the video is an absolute professional, well, today is not going to be one of those videos because we have a couple of problems. So let's take a look, and I'll show you what we're struggling with. So guys, as you're going through and cleaning up your bike, there are some things that are just going to start off acceptable and then end up not. This is the CDI harness, and it just, the tape is shot after 20-something years. And as I go forward and I get it on here, I want it to look good, so we're going to take a minute and rewrap that. And so after removing a whole bunch of old electrical tape, we're left with this, which is a combination of older electrical tape, but in not bad shape since it's been underneath, a piece of what I think was the original cable sheathing, and a little bit more electrical tape. So what I've decided to do is to put a piece of heat shrink tubing on this. And I've got some heat shrink tubing, and I always test first to figure out, hey, is it gonna shrink down to the right size? I put some of it on an 8mm socket, and yep, shrinks down good. But in order to do that, we're gonna have to take this connector apart, and I say this side because ideally, I do this side, but this connector is a little bit more complicated. These pins will pop right out, so just have to document the order that they're in there. I'm going to take the connector off, slide everything through, heat shrink that down, and we should have a nice new cable when we're done. So let's do that. If you're struggling to get one of these dirt bike connectors apart, they've got these little rubber insulators on there, and they get in the way of pulling out the wire. So what I do is I very carefully, first of all, I shoot everything up with some lubricant. Then I use a very small screwdriver and I carefully pry out that insulator. Once you have the insulator out, you can put a small screwdriver down in that top slot and the pin will pop right out of there. For my final wiring harness tech tip, sometimes getting this big mass of connectors through that piece of heat shrink is a problem. I tie it up with a piece of string. I run the string through the heat shrink first, and then I just pull everything through. And it comes out really well. So now we're gonna just undo this, put that connector back together and shrink it. And finally, here we are with the heat shrink shrunk and then all back together. Now, in reality, I could have put a smaller piece of heat shrink here, but I just wrapped that little section in electrical tape. And this is 1,000,000% better than where we started. So here's something you often see wrong. On a 99 bike, the CDI mounts here on the lower part of this engine mount. When I got this bike, it was mounted up here, just, stuck through the number plate bolt and flopping around. Luckily, it still had the bracket, which I repainted. Also notice that when you look at the parts list, it has this little rubber pad associated with it. And if you look at any used ones, you're always going to see that pad. So I put that back on. I'm not sure what purpose that serves, but I figured if it's good enough for Yamaha, it's good enough for me. My bracket was bent, so when I tried to put this in, it came straight into the carburetor. And this is all loose and just mocked up at the moment, but this is the correct way. After God knows how many owners, crashes, and kids, a little bit of bending puts this exactly right where it's supposed to be. I've got my shifter on there as well. Some people look at that and say, geez, that looks a little bit high. Where you put that is really a matter of preference. I try to keep it level with the peg and easy for me to get my size 12 boots under. All right, so we got two things we're gonna try to get done today. Number one is take this thing apart, press out all the crappy bearings and put in new ones. So I've got a swing arm bearing kit and a linkage kit. And in case you didn't see my video when I took this apart, Can you imagine riding this thing around like that? I mean, talk about sloppy. We're going to try to clean it up, and I already took off most of the grease. We'll polish it up a little bit. And part of me now wants to have an original Yamaha decal on both sides of this thing. We'll see where we end up. But let's get this thing apart. How easy was that? I'm sure you guys have friends like my friends, or some of my friends, who say, geez, Chris, why do you have so many tools? That's why. Who wants to fool around with that with a ratchet? All done. All right, so on the positive side here, this came apart relatively easily. The hardware looks decent. Threads are good. Actually, a little bit of grease on there, but you can tell this thing has seen better days. So let's take a look, see what we got in the kit. Swing arm bearing kit, so this must be the linkage kit. And let's just make sure we got everything we need. So seals, collars, bigger collars, good. Little ones, bearing, and the shaft. Okay. Wow. Did you just see that? I'm glad I got that on film. Unbelievable. And just so you can see it, this is the state of that center bearing. You think maybe that needed to be replaced? All right, here we are. I, of course, bled. If you don't bleed on a project, it can't really be done. You'll notice I pushed out both bearings from the same side, just easier that way. And it's winter, so I don't want to put this back together all dirty, and since it's so cold, I don't have a way to wash them in my shop, so we're going to do the time-honored tradition of sneaking these into the house and just washing these parts. All right, so when we got around to the swing arm, you can see I started on this. I took out the seals from the outside, took out these stacked bearings that pop right out, took out the little rollers that go on the inside. You just push those out, piece of cake. And I had it in the vise, and I'm using my seal extractor to try to get the inner ones out so that I can push those bearings out of there. And as I'm doing that, I'm checking out the swing arm, and it's rough. I mean, it really is rough. Look at this. It's just like, God knows what happened to this thing. But as I'm doing that, I noticed something over here, and the bottom line is this weld, it's got a little crack in it. I don't like that. So I've paused for a moment, and I am gonna just grind away a little bit of this and see how deep this crack is. And between you and me, I think I am more than likely just gonna get another swing arm, because I just think this thing is at the end of its useful life. Besides that, while I have a MIG welder, I don't have a TIG, and my MIG is not set up to weld aluminum. You need argon gas. You really, you could get away without a spool gun, but you really need a spool gun. I don't have those. And then I've never welded aluminum. Something I'm gonna do at some point in time, but I'm not gonna learn on a swing arm. So let's just get the Dremel and a rotary cutter, and I'll show you what this crack looks like. We'll grind away a little bit and we'll see how bad it is. And before we start grinding, here's a look at that crack. It makes its way up most of the weld, not in a straight line, doesn't go all the way to the bottom, doesn't go all the way to the top. So we want to take a look at that and see what's going on. All right, so to do this, I'm going to use the same rotary cutter on my Dremel that I used to do my case mod. And I am just going to pick an area here in the middle, and I'm going to grind a little bit away, and I'm going to see just how deep that crack goes. So let's take a look. We are done. And it doesn't go all the way through. So let me see if I can show you guys that. All right, so here's our crack and ground away a little bit. And I know it's hard to see, but the integrity of that weld underneath is absolutely okay. Here you can see a little bit of it, but over here it's not. I'm guessing that if I were to grind all of the rest of this off, for the most part, it doesn't go all the way through. However, it makes me wonder just about, why did it crack to begin with, and what's it going to take for the rest of it to go? All right, so where does all of that leave us? This is going in the dumpster. Even though that weld doesn't go all the way through, I don't like it. Chances are, whatever stresses cause that to happen could cause it to continue to go. Like I said, I don't know how to weld aluminum, and it's not worth fooling with. I took a quick look on eBay, and you can get a swing arm for somewhere between 50 and 100 bucks. It looks like in reasonably good shape. And even though this bike is a 99, the 2000 to 2001 are good. I'm going to try to get a newer one, get that cleaned up, and get on here. What else do we have to do? Well, I still got to rebuild the carburetor, even though you can see it on the bike. Got to run it through my ultrasonic cleaner. Got to check the jetting, and I think I'm going to start off stock, and then we'll tune it. I've got the rad valve. I was going to go with the V-force valve, but I've actually got a Boyson rad valve on there, which is really expensive, and it looks like it's in really good shape. So I'm just going to use that. I got to rebuild the shock still, and then we just got to put all this stuff back together. So good thing to know about this channel is I will show you things that get screwed up, and I'll show you things that don't go perfectly, and I'm looking forward to getting this bike done. So until then, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and you like my content, and we'll see you on the next one.